I have some thoughts. I definitely have some thoughts. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. Well, if you read my thumbnail, you know this video is different. Today I'm going to do something exciting, at least exciting for me. Something a little different at least. Today I'm going to join the world of Compound Tirzepatide. Yeah, I'm late to this, obviously, and who knows how long it's going to last, right? We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But today I'm going to open the package that just arrived. I'm going to take my first shot of Compound Tirzepatide. So why don't you join me? But as always, before I jump into that, I want to say thank you to every one of you that have come by to watch this video. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment down below, help out that algorithm. Thank you very much. So I guess the first logical question is, why did it take me so long to get to this point? You know, from almost day one, I got my first 2 boxes of Mounjaro for $25 using the savings card. And then when I went back for that third one, they told me, nope, absolutely not. What the issue ended up being is that my insurance would not even deny the fact that they wouldn't cover it. They don't cover it. They didn't then, they still don't cover it unless you're type 2 diabetic, right? For Mounjaro. For zepbound, zero coverage completely. But back then it was just the Mounjaro, and you needed to have your insurance to say no for that savings card to kick in to get it for $25. My insurance just left it hanging. They would not respond to it without a type 2 diabetic code to say yes, they would cover it. So at that point I had just 2 options, either quit taking the medication or pay that price for it. The thought of quitting it scared the hell out of me, to be honest with you. By that point, in just 2 months, in 8 weeks, not even a full 8 weeks yet at that point, I had lost 55 pounds. 55 pounds. And that was amazing. And I didn't want that ride to end. And then my wife said to me, you know, we've got some money stashed away on our health savings account. Why don't we use it? So we called to see if it would do it. Sure enough, that bought me another month, and we had enough on there for a couple more months. So I knew I was good until at least the first of the year in 2023, since that was the end of 2022. So we had a game plan, and that's what we did. Then the start of 2023, what we did is that we started putting extra money into our health savings account to cover it because it was going in tax-free. So that was helpful. And we also realized, you know, doing the math, it doesn't take long to find out exactly how much we're saving by not eating out so much, you know, not ordering in food, by basically deleting the Uber Eats app off my phone and never going back to it. The savings was amazing, and that helped pay for some more as well. And if you've been around a while, you've heard me say that there were some people that helped me get the medication when I needed it. There were some people that were watching this channel that have either donated via the links that are in the description. I don't talk about those. I mean, I guess I just did, right? But I typically don't talk about those. They're just there in case anybody wants to help out, and I'm always thankful. So between people clicking on that link and donating some money, as well as calling me up and telling me that they would take care of some of the boxes for me, you know, that I have no way possible to ever say thank you to those that have done that. And I think that's part of what's been keeping me moving forward, is I feel that these people went out of their way to help me, a complete stranger, mind you, just some dude sitting down here recording videos and putting them up on YouTube. They wanted to help me get and have a better life. I mean, how do you say thank you to that? So I know the words thank you just ain't quite enough, but if you're watching this, you know who you are. Thank you again. So then sometime during the 2023 year, I was told about compounds, and I was kind of leery about it, honestly. But people seemed to be talking about how great they were, and I just didn't know. So I talked to a friend of mine who happens to be a pharmacist, and he told me honestly to avoid him at that point. He wasn't sure about it either. You know, there's a lot of shady compounders out there, people who just, you know, could put pretty much whatever they want into it, it seems like. And there was a lot of stories we were hearing just about that. And so that's why I avoided it. You know, no matter how many times I would hear people online say how great it was, I just absolutely stayed away from it because I just didn't know. I didn't know what it would do for me, and I knew, I don't know, I would much rather stick with a branded version of something and have to pay for it, and or, as I was doing, stretching those shots out, right? I've talked about that many times. I was taking one box and turning it into at least 2 months, sometimes 3. I think I probably even went as far as 4, taking them almost 4 months, you know, taking them quite a while apart. As I sit and record this video, I have taken about 12 shots less than half of what I should have in this time frame from when I started taking Mounjaro. So yeah, that tells you right there just how much I've stretched it out, and I have no problem doing that, and it's worked great for me. As of the recording of this video, I'm down 245 pounds, and I can't complain about that at all. I'll always wonder how it would have been if I could have taken them, you know, regularly, taken those shots weekly. I think that's why I celebrate those milestones so much more when I finally hit them, even though it might take me longer than other people. I get excited because I know exactly what it's taken to get me from here to there, and I know what I had to do to be able to travel that road, the road less medicated, I guess you could say, and I'm proud of that. I'm okay with it. I'm happy. Yes, and let me tell you, I would much rather be sitting here telling you that I've lost 345 pounds than just 245. There are some times where I think, man, you're just not losing it fast enough. You need to figure out a way. Financially, just can't pay for those medications and live at the same time. You know, I like to go out and do things. You know, it's a weird juxtaposition, right? It's like, do I pay for the medication or do I spend a little more going out and enjoying the life that I can now have thanks to the medications, you know? So it's like, I can't do this without this, but if I'm paying for this, I can't do this. So what do? Well, I like to enjoy my life. You know, I go out to OKC Broadway, I go to baseball games, I go to basketball games, but I make sure that I have that medication because without it, I'm not going to be able to do those things, and I understand that. So that's why, after all this time, I've decided to give Compound Tirzepatide a try. So how about we open this package together? Because here it is right here. It's a big old silver Christmas present, I guess you could say. Yep, absolutely. I don't want to show anything else, but it says do not refrigerate, do not freeze. So my wife put it into the refrigerator for me. So when I got home from work tonight, I'm able to open it, and then we'll take my first shot here in a little bit. So let's take a peek at what this has in it for me. Let me scoot back here because I don't know how that's going to show up on camera. Good golly. This stuff is pretty good. Package of some sort. Let's set it here for a moment. Probably off camera. Ooh. Cold pack. And then there's some kind of package here. Feels like there's a couple cold packs in there, and that's it. So this is a well-insulated package. You can see nothing else in there, but these are thick insulation here, so that's really good. So let's set that aside. All right, so let's pull this out and see what it is. Another cold pack. Yeah, I'm not throwing these away. These will go in the freezer. Those will work out good during the summer to put in an ice chest. Because here's another one. So that's 3 of them now. And then here is the bottle of medicine, I guess. Inject 125 units, 1.25 milliliters subcutaneously once weekly for 4 weeks. So interesting. So I'm actually on 12.5 milligrams, but what they're giving me is technically tirzepatide 5 milligrams. So then I have to make sure that I'm taking enough of it to get to that 12.5. So it says to inject 125 units. I'm assuming that's on the needle. Well, the reason I know that is we have to give our dog insulin shots, and so I know she needs 4.5, so it's, you know, on the side of that needle. So, but yeah, let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's cute. Ooh, nice and cold, which is good, I guess, right? Tirzepatide 5 milliliter vial. Yeah, you can't really see it, but that's a tiny little sucker right there. Okay, well, let's put that back in here while we look at everything else. We'll set it down over here. Okay, and then what is this? Wellness mastered, it says, right? I'm assuming this will be the syringes. Man, my wrists suck. I talk about it all the time. If you watch my cooking videos, I talk about how my wrists are horrible. That's why I use a dicer, a chopper, right? They're bad. So the first thing in here, absolutely, we got some syringes. Yes, it shows the side there, the numbers. What does this say? How many? That's quite a bit if I'm only taking 4 shots. Going to be some extras. Actually, it says there's 10 of them in here, so that's interesting. All right, well, 10 needles, syringes there. So let's see what else we got. And that's it. So we have some alcohol pads, right? So I guess this is to clean the area. It's pretty much like we do normally when we take a shot with the pen. It says there's 10 of them, but there sure looks like to be a lot more than 10 in there. But either way, that's good. Okay. So there it is. That's what comes in the package. We have the medication. We have the alcohol pads here to sterilize, and then some needles. Oh, and I guess this thing behind the needles would be probably the directions. And again, I'm going to be doing pretty much like I do Piper, so I would assume it's the same thing, right? But let's see what this says. Yeah, drawing your medication. 1, check the medication label. Make sure the medication matches the dose. Step 2, remove the lid from the vial. With clean hands, use one of the provided alcohol wipes to clean the top of the vial. Yeah, that sounds about right. Step 3, with the syringe cap on, pull back the plunger to the number needed that matches your dose on the medication. This fills the syringe with air. So, okay, we're going to pump air in just like I do with Piper. Remove the syringe cap and insert the needle into the rubber top and push the air into the vial. Turn the vial upside down and pull the syringe back until it matches the number of your dose. If you see any air bubbles, tap it, okay? Then it gives you where to inject it. Of course, we all know that, right? I don't know if you'll be able to see that well, but you can see the gray spots here where they tell you, you know, like the thighs or the tummy or the back of the arms, that kind of thing. So it gives you pretty good directions here. Remember to rotate your instruction site. You should be at least 1.5 inches away from the last injection site. At least 1.5 inches. That's really interesting because for me, I have found over the last couple of years that there's only 2 places that works for me. The right or the left side of the tummy, plain and simple. And the thighs, it's almost as if I don't take a shot. I did it once in the back of the arm, wherever that is up here, right? And it was the same way. It's almost as if I didn't take a shot. I like to say that the food noise came back and the appetite suppression was gone completely. That food noise, I like to say, was back and it was pissed off. I mean, it was bad. I like to say it was like worse than before I started taking this medication, or at least it seemed. Maybe it just seemed that way because I've been so used to not having that, right? But either way, I don't do that now. So it's either side of the belly every single time I take a shot. And it's worked out just great for me. So you can keep your other spots there, but hold the syringe away like you would hold a pencil or a dart. They want me to hold it like a... I once had a guy when I was, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. I had to go in and get some blood work done right here. He actually took that syringe and tossed it like it was a dart into my arm. I will never forget it, and I'll never forget his name. His name was Otto. Yeah, that scarred me for life, evidently, because that's, 46 years ago, roughly, and I still remember that. All right. Anyways, enough about that. But so then it says to insert the needle at a 45 to 90 degree angle to a pinched up skin. So they want you to pinch it, okay? The needle should be completely covered by skin as you're poking it in. Hold the syringe with one hand, with the other pull back the plunger and check for blood. If you see blood in the solution in the syringe, do not inject. I've never done that before. Not with Piper. I guess maybe we'll try that. Slowly push the plunger in to inject the medicine. Press the plunger down all the way. Number 6, remove the needle from the skin. Gently hold an alcohol pad on the injection site. Do not rub. And then, of course, they don't tell you to put the cap back on, throw it away, right? Well, you don't throw it away. You put it in your sharps container. That's what I meant by throwing it away. So good instructions there, I suppose. So yeah, again, that's the whole kit, and it's quick and easy. So So of course the next logical question is, where did I get mine? Well, I used Join Fridays. They made it so freaking easy. You just sign up, choose which plan you want, either the branded Tirzepatide or the Compound. Of course I went to Compound, as we know. And then I had to do a video consult with a doctor. That was easy, especially when I told them, yeah, I'm already taking 12.5. They wanted to verify that. So all I had to do was show them a box with a prescription on it. So I just held it up to the camera on my phone there, and while we were talking via video, and they're like, yep, we're good to go. So then they sent that in quick and easy. A few days later, it was delivered via, I can't remember if it was FedEx or UPS, honestly, which one it was. Does it say on the package? Let me take a look at that. It was UPS. So UPS dropped it off at the house, and again, especially this time of year, should be no problem, because look at these ice packs, right? They're not ice anymore, but they are still quite cold. So yeah, that's awesome. So let's go give a shot here, right? So I'm gonna go out front, actually have my wife run the camera so I can get this done, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's give this a try. I've got my wife working the camera for me so I can show you what I'm doing here. First thing is we grab our little vial and then a sanitizing little pad here, right? We want to make sure that where we're sticking that needle in is nice and clean. Now again, this is my first time doing this, and I'm assuming that I do the exact same thing when I give my little pup Piper her diabetes medicine. You know, got to give her shots of insulin. So it's pretty much the same thing, I would assume. So pull it out. You can see the needle there. I like the fact that it is a tiny needle because I hate needles. And you can see your scale on the side. Since I am taking 12.5 milligrams currently, I can't put that all in one. I need 125 units, and those only go up to 100. So I'm going to do 65 on one and 60 on another needle. That's right, I got to give myself 2 shots. So the first thing I did there is I pulled it back as far as I was gonna, 60 or 65, and then I pushed air into the vial, and that helps make it a little bit easier when you're drawing the medicine out. So then you just pull that back until the plunger gets even with the number you're looking for. And again, since I need 125 units, I'm doing 65 in one, 60 in another. Makes it quite easy. Tap it a couple times, just make sure it doesn't have any bubbles in it. Nothing that you can see at least. And I'm going to do both shots at the same time. So I just cap it, and then let's go ahead and grab that second one. So since on the first one I did 60 units, this one I need to do 65, but it's the exact same process. Just pull it back to what I need, in this case 65. I don't know how well that's going to show up there, but it's clear to read when you're looking at the syringe. Push that air right back into the bottle. And then notice how I'm holding it. I've got the syringe between those 2 fingers. I've got it pretty much resting on my middle finger there, so I can give a little bit of pressure. And the bottle's getting a little loosey-goosey on me, so I readjust. Put it tight against that middle finger, and then start pulling the medicine out. I always like to pull it past what I need. So in this case, I needed 65. So I pulled it down to about 70, and then I'll push it up right here just a little bit to get the exact amount I need. That also helps with any kind of air bubbles you might have in it. Again, I learned how to do this by giving my dog Piper her diabetes medicine, right? Her insulin shots. So I'm assuming I'm doing what I'm supposed to. So the next thing then is, yeah, excuse me for this, nobody really wants to see it, but I wanted to show you the whole process. Pick a spot where you're going to give your shot. Now I prefer to give on either side of the belly. Last time I did it on the right, so this time I'm going to do it on the left. First thing you want to do is make sure it's clean. I like to take my one finger where I use that sanitizing pad just so I know where it is, and then it's a matter of simply just sticking that needle right in. Pretty easy. Down goes the plunger. I don't know how fast you're supposed to go with this thing. I pretty much take my time. As you can see, that thing is barely moving. Yeah, I think I can feel it actually going in there. I don't know, maybe it's all in my head. But once that plunger gets all the way down, you know you're done. Pull it out. That easy, and just simply cap off that syringe to protect that needle. All right, so that one was okay. Let's try it again. Here, let's see if we can look at it a little better with this second shot. Again, sanitize it. I point right where it's at so I know where I did. And then in goes the needle into that area. And then as you can see, I push it down pretty slowly. You could see that medicine going in. I don't again, don't know if you're supposed to do it fast or slow, or if it really even matters as long as it gets in. Maybe I'm just a little overcautious, but this is how I'll be doing it until maybe I learn something different. And then cap off that needle as well, and you're done. 2 shots it takes to get 12.5 milligrams with the compound. Works for me. All right, so back into the office after having done that. Again, sorry, nobody wants to see my big old belly like that, but I did want to show exactly what I was doing. I have some thoughts. I definitely have some thoughts. I guess that's why they gave me so many syringes, is because I needed 2, right? So can't put the whole amount into one. Those only go up to 100 units, where I needed 125. So I guess that's why I got so many of them. And then that brings up my second point, which is I hate needles. I absolutely hate needles, and I think having that ability to do it the way you do with like the pen from Mounjaro or zepbound, you don't see that needle, you just hit that button and away it goes. I don't know, I've very rarely felt it. Not that I felt this either. I mean, a little bit more, especially when the medication was going in, and that could be because of the volume of it. You know, like I said earlier, that little vial has 5 milligram tirzepatide in it, so I needed 125 units to get to the 12.5. I really felt like that was a lot more than what's in one of those pens at that level. So maybe that's part of my little creepiness with it, but I'm okay with it. If it's going to save me some money and allow me possibly to take it more often, maybe, I'm okay with that. And what I'm really wondering about too with having it like this is I could pull pretty much however much I want out of that vial, right? I'm used to stretching it out, going, you know, at least 2 weeks between shots, sometimes 3. So I'm really wondering if that would mean then that on some week where I really don't feel like I need a shot, that maybe I could take 10 milligrams worth of it instead of 12.5, or even a 7.5 worth, right? So 75 units versus taking the 125 units, to see if that would get me through to that next week and how that would go. I think people refer to that as microdosing, and I have seen some videos right here on YouTube where people talk about doing that, where they take smaller amounts and take it more often. There seems to be people who have done really good on that, and I wonder if that would help me, since I am used to stretching it out, if it would be better to do it that way instead of waiting to take a shot every 2 to 3 weeks. Especially because when you're doing a subscription service like Join Fridays, you have to get a new vial every 4 weeks. I mean, they're going to charge you automatically at least, so you might as well get it every 4 weeks. So yeah, if that helps me to do it that way, then maybe that's a good thing. I do have some pens of the 12.5 milligrams still out in the fridge. So who knows, if I have any of this left over, maybe I could take a little bit of it and take one of those, you know, once I get moved up to 15, whatever that is. I've been on 12.5 since June of last year, 2023, honestly. So who knows how much longer I'll be on this. And quite honestly, if I'm taking it more often, I don't know if that's going to make it where my body gets used to it more, or if that's going to make it where I can actually take it longer. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm okay with this. If I didn't have any experience at all with pulling medicine out of a bottle like that, I might be a little creeped out about it. But yeah, I think I'm all right with it, honestly. So again, who knows how long the compound world's gonna end. By the time I put up this video, it might be over with already. Who knows? You know, they're fighting that right now, especially Eli Lilly. For right now, I'm going to continue to do it this way with the compound version for as long as I can. And then once that's no longer an option, I'll go right back to the pen, you know, made by Eli Lilly, do the zepbound, 12.5 or 15, whatever it is by the time I get up to that point. But yeah, I see no reason not to at this point, especially with the great reviews from companies like Join Fridays. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but if you're interested in it, check out their website at joinfridays.com. You can read all about it there and do exactly what I did. You know, it's a good thing. So all right, let's end this video right here. I do appreciate you coming by, checking it out. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.